Well, hello and welcome back. I have another set of movies. While I was at work today, I was thinking, what other movies and genre? So I thought to myself, Grand Theft Auto. I don't know if everybody remembers the old school top down Grand Theft Auto and then through, Vice City and then GTA 5. Now they're supposed to be coming out GTA 6. So my boss's favorite video game ever was GTA 5, and he played that stuff like religiously. With that being said, a little backstory to me. I just got out of work and I figured, hey, I'm going to record this since I've been thinking about it at work all day. It seems that people enjoy me talking about good movies from back in the day that are worth a rewatch or a first time watch. And I brainstormed it and I come up with some, I think, pretty solid ones. So the very, very first one is 3,000 Miles to Graceland. So 3,000 Miles to Graceland is about two guys who may or may not be brothers. I, I haven't seen this movie in a long time, but essentially they're like casino robbers. They rob casinos. They're criminals and stuff like that. It's a weird dynamic they have. One of them's good, one of them's evil. The duality of if you have a brother like I do, yeah, you know that one of them's a little bit rougher than the other one. I'm the rougher brother, and this takes place in Las Vegas, and they dress up as you know Elvis, and they rob places, and there's a stunning cast. Of course, we're going to start off with Kurt Russell. It's always Kurt Russell. I think I'm going to start that every movie. It seems now is a first one's a Kurt Russell film, but it's Kurt Russell and Kevin Costner, and there's also John Leguizamo in this movie, and it's fantastic if you like heist movies and like explosions and fast cars and all the testosterone boosting stuff that you can enjoy. This movie is amazing. I don't want to spoil anything for it. It's a movie that I watched. I don't even know how many times back to back, just rewinding the VHS to rewatch it again. There's like this cool scorpion fight scene in the beginning, and like as one wins, the other guy's like walking up and steps on it. It's super cool. I haven't like rewatched any of it, but it is one heck of a movie. Yeah. See, Kurt Russell. Oh, Christian Slater. I forgot he was in it. Thomas Hayden Church, Wookie Woodman. Yeah, John Lovitz. So Howie Long. Yeah. So this is a star-studded cast. It was fantastic movie. I can't suggest it like more than I'm already gushing over the film, but I really, really did enjoy it. I don't know. Get away with finding pictures here somewhere. Yeah. Yeah. It's a good movie. Um, Joaquin, he comes up again in another movie because he plays a lot of character acting like this. The next one is The Saint. Saint was a good film with Val Kilmer. It was pretty solid. It's all about a guy trying to find his like sainthood, and he had to do like seven miracles, and he does all these like he saves orphans, and he pulls off all these like crazy stunts. If you ever played GTA and single player, that would kind of feels like that you're doing all these impossible things and saving everyone. I don't know how everybody else played the game, but that's how I played it. It was kind of a wholesome experience for me. Next, even though I do not like the actor, Mission Impossible. The OG original Mission Impossible, not the OG from the 60s one, because there was a whole, but if you know, you know. But this was Jean Pierre, which is a French actor. He was in there. He's phenomenal. That's this guy right here. Jean Pierre did a lot of really good films like La Professionnelle. He was also in the original Jason Statham Transporter film, and he was in what was it? French Kiss with Meg Ryan. Oh man, that was. He always puts on a solid performance, and in this he kind of plays like a lunatic, and it's really good because he plays a really good lunatic, and they're trying to steal some diamond, and heisty this and heisty that, and it's solid. It's a lot of action, it's a lot of adventure. There's high stakes. There's how do we get in? How do we get out without getting caught? A lot of planning. A lot of you know, it's all Hollywood nonsense, but I mean, it is good to watch. Next is a movie that was my uncle's um, favorite movie called Heat. It had Robert De Niro and Al Pacino. Like, you can't go wrong with that. Also had Tom Sizemore. I remember Tom Sizemore being in there. Oh, Val Kilmer as well. Look at that. Two Val Kilmers. Tom Sizemore did a great job in this, and his character was so good, and it was such a sad ending for everybody here because there was one guy that was a rat, just a little rat, and that's the guy you're following. It's kind of like Reservoir Dogs in that way, where the guy that you're following to the broken up story is actually just you know their little parasite hiding out in their group. It's a lot like that in real life, not just movies. But takes place they rob banks, and they have all these like cool like shootout scenes, and 1990s LA, and it's pretty good. It's from 1995, and it's a solid film. Like I said, it was my uncle's favorite film. It was a little too long for me as a kid back in the 90s, but it's like 2.5, 3 hours long, and it came on two VHS tapes. It was like, oh my goodness, what are we getting ourselves into? Like nothing else but like what Saving Private Ryan and what was that movie that Mel Gibson did? Braveheart. Yeah, that one came out on two VHSs too. It was like, oh my goodness, you're gonna watch the first half and then the second half tomorrow. Like, oh my goodness, there's not enough popcorn in the world for this. It is good though. It is. Ocean's 11. I don't like any of the other Oceans, but this is a good heist movie about a casino again. Um, it's got Julia Roberts. It's got Brad Pitt. It's got Matt Damon. Unfortunately, it has George Clooney. Not a big fan. He makes that same face he did from the soap opera he was in that my mother loved so much, General Hospital or something like that. And just watching that show with my mom was like pain, just pain. Like I don't know how to explain how awful that is to be like a little hyper kid running around the house, and she makes you sit down and watch the most boring show on the face of the earth. Anyway, I'm gonna get off that. So they star-studded cast. They do a really really good job. A lot of planning. They do a whole lot of that thing that that newer movies of Catch Me If no, not Catch Me If You Can. Now You See Me, Now You Don't, or whatever it was called, where they have like a whole bunch of plot that they don't tell you about till the end, and then you're like, oh my gosh, they actually did it in this crazy way, and like, oh my god, they stole all the money even before they started. And it's pretty good. Like I'm not running it down. It is great. It's probably one of George Clooney's best films, in my opinion, because everybody else was supporting him and covering up for his my own bias of just not liking the actor. I agree with like Francine, from American Dad. That's kind of the way I feel about it. It's like, oh, this guy's on the screen again. That was a really weird, unknown movie that most people probably never heard about called Knockaround Guys. It's one of Vin Diesel's like earlier films with Barry Pepper. I remember Barry Pepper. What happened to him? He did that Battlefield Earth movie and disappeared. He was in Saving Private Ryan. Battlefield Earth just no longer exists. Just phased out of the universe. I don't know why. They didn't put him in any more big blockbuster films. So this is all about a bunch of like hooligans, Jersey hooligans, and they get together and they're like, oh, we're gonna do this stuff and take back whatever. And Vin Diesel plays like the most jacked Jewish dude ever, and he is a wrecking ball. Like they really beefed this dude up. His fight scenes are great. Oh man, it, that's coming out of Pitch Black. Pitch Black was a good movie. About being stranded on some random planet, which I would suggest that one too. Eh, Pitch Black. I probably should have thrown that in there somewhere with the last video. Maybe I'll just do like a whole general sci-fi thing. But the other reason I like him is because in the movie he has my name spelled correctly. Nice. Yeah, Barry Pepper, Seth Green, Dennis Hopper, uh, John Malkovich, Tom Noonan. Uh, just it's a great watch. If you liked Pool Hall Junkies, you definitely love this. The next one is another callback to another weird heist movie that is funny. This is more of a comedy. It definitely was not serious. Like Heat was serious, or 3,000 Miles of Graceland was serious, but this is a comedy, action, heist, hitman flick. Like they're all hitman and they're running around trying to kill each other. I don't know if you played like the hitman option in Grand Theft Auto, but you hunt each other down, or you can buy people to hunt people, and it's a hoot in Grand Theft Auto 5. It's it's a good way to prank your friends. Explosions, terrible explosions. Um, it's got Lou Diamond Phillips in it, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's Lou Diamond Phillips. Yeah, Lou Diamond Phillips. Yeah, Christina Applegate when she was young. Just for anybody who's into that. Um, it was great. It was silly. Um, Mark Wahlberg does really good in it. It was one of his like real big breakout movies. In the 90s, which is that whole 1998 era that I'm trying to, keep us in the 90s and early 2000s. Now, there is a, like, what I would call mid 2000, which is like 2006, a movie that I watched and I was like, oh my goodness, this is one of the best movies I've watched in such a very long time. And it was called Smoking Aces. Now, Smoking Aces 2, not so much. We can just forget that that exists. But Smoking Aces, it feels like watching Snatch. If you ever watched the movie Snatch with Brad Pitt and Jason Statham, I'll pull that up here in a minute. But this is all about a Las Vegas guy who's like he's like an entertainer, but he's also really good at gambling and being a shark. And he turns on the mob to like testify. And so the mob's like, okay, cool. We're just going to send every hitman. We're going to green light you from everywhere. And all the hitmen show up to this one hotel. And I mean, like, French hitmen, German hitmen, the, you know, Brotherhood, just cops, bounty hunters. Everybody comes after this dude because they just want to, he's just dead. So whoever does it gets like $1 million or something like that. And it's just it gets so out of hand so fast. Ray Liotta is in it. Um, oh yeah, that's right. Ryan Reynolds is in it too. I forgot about that. Yeah. So Jeremy Piven. If you ever watched a movie called was it Politically Correct University, PCU? Um, it's that was a funny movie. But fantastic actor. Then you got Ryan Reynolds, you got Ray Liotta, you've got Ben Affleck, Peter Berg, uh, Christopher Michael Hawley, which does great as he makes a bunch of fighting movies. Man, he's fantastic. He actually showed Kimbo Slice how to punch faster by not like telegraphing. There was a I'm getting wandering off. Anyway, so I want to show just maybe a clip or two of this. Let's see here. Ooh, let's see here. Yeah. So it's this guy cooped up in this hotel room, and everybody's coming for him, and it's crazy. It's a crazy film. It's a dark comedy, but it's also like crime and action. And GTA is funny. Like a lot of stuff you can do in there. You can wear like horse faces and stuff, weird silly hats and run around as a pirate or whatever you want to do. But yeah, these are good. This was a good movie. Like I said, don't watch the second one. The second one, not so much. First one, fantastic. But we're gonna pull up Snatch 2000. Yeah, that's the one. This movie, this movie right here. It's about a boxer, a gypsy boxer. Maybe I can get a. Yeah, there we go. So it's about a gypsy boxer, and it's pause you. You got Jason Statham. Here, I'll go down to the actual names. So you got Brad Pitt, Jason Statham, Stephen Graham, Vinnie Jones, who was a football player, and he's got a great scene in the movie. These guys come in and like pull a gun on him, and he like looks at the gun, and he's like, "That's cool," and pulls out a 50 caliber Desert Eagle giant fecal nader pistol. And he's like, "Oh, the difference between your gun and my gun is yours says replica and mine says 50 AE." And oh man, it's such a good cheesy line, but man, it was so the way he delivers it is so good because he was a hooligan. He was a football hooligan. Those English people they get pretty rough about their football, and this guy actually like, he played, and he was quite a beast. Got, if I'm not mistaken, he got banned from playing soccer. I have to look that up, but I know he played rugby, then he got kicked out of soccer, and because he was a meat machine. You just crush people, and like you can't foul like that, dude. You get some yellow cards turns to a red card, man, like real quick. Like they don't play with that around there. Apparently, you got to be all gentle like and stuff. I don't know. I watch rugby, so I don't know about the gentle stuff. Hockey and rugby. Anyway, Tyrone, that was a good character. Yeah, but oh, Benicio del Toro. I didn't know he was in there. Huh. Frankie Four Fingers. I might have to rewatch this again. I remember it being really, really good. Snatch. You like dogs? Yank dogs. Yank dogs. It's all Brad Pitt tries to do is like sell people dogs or give people dogs, and then the dog comes back to him. I don't understand it, but it has to do with some weird like gypsy caravan type of people that live over in England because this is a British film, right? And it's a wild thing, and they're like trying to bet and cheat and do all this stuff, and they pay the boxer to take a dive, and then the boxer doesn't take the dive because he's got the fight in him, which is really cool to think about. That I got that fight in me, I can't do it, and he could have knocked the guy out in like 2 seconds. The guy's got like iron hands, man. He's like the one punch man. He just clobbers people, and got paid to take a dive, didn't take the dive, so it turns into this whole nightmare. The gang leader's like, man, get rid of him, and all this other stuff. And you got Jason Statham tied up and trying to be like he's an enforcer, and he's like, oh my god, what do I do? We're all dead. There's a lot of fun in this film, Just, that's technically everything to do with like Grand Theft Auto, but man, I like this movie a lot. Man, like this is one of Brad Pitt's best films, in my opinion, especially with his delivery. The only other one that I liked more than this or at the same level was a movie called Seven with Morgan Freeman. What's in the box? That old classic line. That movie was his best movie, but this is definitely a tight second. Like it's pushing up on it. If I watch it again and I drink a little too much, I'll probably say this is the best movie ever. But it is a solid film. Let's go over a little bit of some overview, right? And I'm making sure that this isn't like politically charged as best as I can. So don't look back. Okay, so 3,000 Miles of Graceland. That's the first one. Second one, The Saint. Mission Impossible, the OG one. Heat. Ocean's 11. Knockaround Guys. The Big Hit. Smoking Aces. And then as an honorable mention, Snatch, because it's just fantastic. I love this movie. It's great. Well, thanks for swinging by. It's going to be a short little video for you guys, but I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope that, if you haven't seen these movies, you get to see them for the first time or show your kids. I see that most of you are about my age, so you probably have kids or don't have kids and you want to rewatch them. Heck, if they're not around, you can watch it again. Once again, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. I'm trying to respond to everybody in my comments the best I can. Like I said, I do work full time overnight. So in the morning is normally when I can catch up with y'all, unless, I'm on my break and I can comment and, give you a reply the best I can. Not the best typing genius in the world. So I just, want to engage with you and tell you hi and thank you for watching and, commenting and subscribing and being really good to me so far. Everybody's been so wonderful. I really do appreciate the support and everything the community is giving me because I am just some random guy in Texas, making stuff in front of my computer with the world's worst microphone and recording software ever invented. But it's working, and I'm happy that I can entertain you guys at least for a couple of minutes because it way beats TV shows. Oh my God, my wife turned on the TV and like it's all it is these like terrible game shows, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what I would give for Kevin Sorbo's Hercules to come back on air on ABC. Oh, or Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Man, when I could watch TV and actually enjoy it. Now it's just pull this lever and answer this question. Like, no, dude. Like, is there no plot? There's no story. There's no character building. There's no nothing. It's, hi, I'm Doug. I'm from Delaware. I hit this button in time, or I didn't, and that's just such a waste of time and film. I don't know what Hollywood's doing anymore, but they used to know what they were doing. I guess everybody retired. Who knows? But I'm done griping. Y'all have a good day. Thank you. Much love.